Hi guys, Jessie Rhines, Yoga Teacher Evolutions, here with you for another Mudra Monday. And I often think about the channels of energy in the body when I'm trying to decide what kind of a yoga posture or mudra I want to encourage. I tend to think a lot about downward current, which grounds us when we're anxious or scattered, or upward flow, which is helpful if we're heavy or lethargic or struggling with depression. But today I want to talk about the central channel of energy that's considered somewhat horizontal in the body, and we call it Samana Vayu. Vayu is the channel, and this is the Samana Vayu. We work to expand on the inhale with Samana Vayu and to soften, not necessarily concentrate, but soften on the exhale. And the mudra that we'll be doing today is called Vajra Mudra, and it helps us to clear out this channel of energy, and in particular to get us in touch with our solar plexus. So the area just above the navel is considered our solar plexus, one of the main energy centers of the body, and it's associated with self-empowerment. So particularly in these times where we don't necessarily have as much control as we're used to, when we're feeling that our normal freedoms have been diminished, if we're feeling unempowered, disempowered, if we're feeling boxed in or controlled, this can be a helpful reminder that we ultimately have free will and lots of choice and esteem and empowerment that we can grow, that we can connect to, that we can really encourage through the physical body, just by feeling this part of us, the energy body by breathing in and out of this part of us, and in hopes that that will ripple through the mental and emotional layer. We can simply request with our sankalpa, our intention, at the beginning of our practice. So come to a comfortable seat, anything you'd like. You can work with bolster like I have here. You can work with blocks. You can be seated in a virasana like I am today, or a crisscross applesauce, which we call sukhasana. And just get comfy. Let yourself ground and shimmy. Shake out anything you need to shake out. Breathe out anything you need to breathe out. And simultaneously today, I'd like for you to ground down and rise up. Can you do that at the same time? Often I work with grounding first. Today I want to challenge you. Can you reach down and reach up? Boom. All in one. And then become aware of the space in between the lower half of you and the uppermost regions of you. Become aware of the trunk of the body. And in particular, with that space of the solar plexus, floating above the heavy pelvis, above the navel, but below the throat, chest, and heart center. It's a center. And you'll notice that as you try to make more space through the midriff, you stand a little taller, or I could say here, sit a little taller, which is already allowing us to feel what we feel when we feel empowered. It's even in our colloquial speech to stand tall. Crown of the head up, And then I'll encourage you to bring your hands, if they aren't already, to this place for just some breath work before we reopen our eyes to find the mudra. So the hands can be flat against your body, one on top of the other, or both on the belly and the midriff, or the solar plexus and a little higher towards the heart. Whatever lets you just connect with your middle. As you now take a few deeper breaths. You might do that by imagining a 3-part breath, nose, chest, belly. You might do that by working with ocean breath, Ujjayi pranayam, if you know it. Little hug of the throat to make a little sound. It's a lot like our cleansing breath, except that the lips are together. But that same little constriction of the vocal cord is what creates ocean breath. And we're just expanding. We're expanding all around. And again, you might start to think about that sense of being more horizontal. Or you might think of side, but also front, back, just trying to make the trunk of your body like a big barrel on the breath in, and then an even circular softening on the breath out. So we're not so much thinking about up and down as we sometimes do. We're thinking about out and around. Diaphragmatic breath, right? Deep belly breath, belly moving here. That can take some time or feel awkward or both. You'll have to really train yourself to unlearn everything that you've learned about keeping your belly thin or tight or taut or strong, like you're taking a photo on a beach, right? You want to be big in the belly. Let all that conditioning go. Breathe into a ring or like a little tiny hula hoop around you. Breathe into your waistband. Let's take 3 more breaths like that, just really loosening things up. Don't be afraid to stretch from the inside, just as you would stretch your legs after a run or your arms in some way. Don't be afraid to stretch the midriff. Even if it feels kind of funny sometimes. And after this next exhale, we'll let that go. Perhaps before we open eyes, just notice. What you sense, if anything. And then we'll gently come back into the room just to learn Vajra Mudra, gesture of the diamond. So I'd like you to take your hands, let's say palms facing one another, and we'll bring the pointer fingers and the thumbs together. So it's like you're going to pinch. And then from there, we let the hands come together. So they come to midline at your body. And then all we do to add to Vajra is add the diamond shape by bringing your 2 straightened middle fingers together. So that when you look down, you can see the pointer fingers moving away from your body. And then we'll settle that just right around the solar plexus. So typically whatever's comfortable, right, will be just about right. The hands, lowish. So not as high as the heart, if it's okay. If you can find something a little lower. But not as low as the navel. And then we'll close the eyes again. Start to refine the places where the fingers come together to be really alert and aware of a certain pressure that's not too strong, but that's clear, that's present. A certain taut sensation, alert. Like a yoga pose, right? It's a yoga pose. You can play with adding more thumb pressure, seeing how far that can go, adding more pressure with the pointer fingers back to the thumb, and finding a really nice middle ground between them, and also hand to opposite hand. Same work with those middle fingers, just getting it just right. And then we'll return to our breath, keeping this yoga pose not rigid, not extreme, not hurting, but alert. Vajra refers to the diamond shape that's formed by the mudra, but it's also named after Manipura, which means city of jewels, which is the Sanskrit name for the solar plexus. This is the center of self-empowerment, purpose, either just in this moment or a grander, more meta life purpose. Everything along the way. This is our center of self-esteem, self-regard, self-care, confidence, and enjoyment of our place in the world. So I'd like you, as you continue to deepen the breath, to envision that as you inhale, there's a yellow or a golden light that moves from your spine out to your core and beyond. And as you exhale, there's just a softening, just a little softening. So every time you inhale, it's as though you could glow the yellow, the golden. And as you exhale, things come back together, but not in any rushed or concentrated way. So it's almost as though on the inhale you feel like an orb of light or a sun, yourself, a planet. And as you exhale, there's just a little relaxation. And we'll continue to work like that, just visualizing that you are expanding into that imaginary barrel around you on the inhale. Now adding this orb of light. It's normal for thoughts to come and go, as with all meditations. If you notice that you're thinking, all you have to do is return kindly. We don't expect thoughts to fall away completely. We just ask, am I paying more attention to this mudra, to this breath, than I am to the details of thought? And stay here as long as you can. Know, as you breathe in and out of this Manipura chakra, that you are connecting to your empowerment, to your power, to the power that you have every day, no matter what kinds of regulations are in place around us. The power of your word, your deed, the power of energy that you bring, the way that you use your time, the connections that you choose to make with self or other, and many, many, many other examples. I could go on and on. Instead of focusing on I can't, a mantra that might be a lovely partner to this work is I can, or I will. This might be the part of you that's wanting to learn something new or learning something new. This might be the part of you that's experimenting in some way. This is the part of you that says yes, that has volition in any large or small ways through your day. Let's keep growing it, connecting to it, clearing it out. For just another moment. Getting that light as bright as you comfortably would like it. Feeling your power. Feeling where it resides, deep, deep in you, from you, not from outside of you, from within. Let's find our last 3 breaths like this. And after the 3rd, what I'd like for you to do is simply allow the hands to relax and rest however they will, wherever they will, and feel. Noticing any effects from your practice here. And then very gently, perhaps with the face turned down at first, we'll let the eyes open and take our time to reconnect to the space around you, maybe more mindfully than you left it. Really here, really present. That sense of here-ness is a lot about what Vajra Mudra is about. That sense of presence that begins deep inside of us. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you find these meditations helpful, and thanks for spending this practice with me. I look forward to continuing to hear from you guys and be in touch with you. Let's bring our hands to the heart center. May this practice be meaningful. May this practice bear fruit. And may the fruits of our practice benefit all beings everywhere. The light in me honors the light in each one of you.